glad to have a day of rest. I thought work was about ready to kill me. But I'm sketching out ghost face. And I'm going to start with the pencil with this one. I'm going to leave it this way. And I tell you, I've been on a wild ride with healthcare. There's people, owners in this industry that just don't care. It's not the facility, it's the owner. He just wants to sell the place. He's already sold it, but I guess it takes 5 years or something like that. So he's just been giving everybody hell. I've been there 11 years, so. Alright, I have my cards right here, my friends. Right here. I'm going to leave them there just so everybody knows they're there. And I never kind of know how many people I'm going to get or not in this day and age of social media. So, off I go. Alright. I'm doing this first. I kind of want to get this real good in this way. And I found this on Etsy. It's $10 if you were to buy it. That's what they say. Alright. Now that has another dip that goes this way. Goes up that way. I guess with some complicated sketches, it's better to do all three. Pencil, pastel, and paint. So that's where we're at today with this. And I did have a breakdown at work because I just couldn't take it no more because of all the nastiness that's been going around with these treating the residents like crap. Did not get fired because none of it was my fault. So I got an easier unit. And I am a very kind soul. So, anyways, as I'm going about my day. Oh, hello. I got a lot of people today. It's your birthday? You turned 11 years old? Is it 11? Alright, well, happy birthday, Kid Chaos. 11 years old is a milestone. I remember when I was 11. It was a long time ago. I'm 50, but yeah, I had a cake. These days, 11-year-olds have a lot more than cake and stuff. You probably got video games and everything else. But it was a more simpler time then. That's why I'm such a simple person. And very basic. But yeah, I fed a lady. Well, I feed a lot of people on the STNA, but this lady had 2 broken arms and 2 broken legs. So, oh, you're 6? 67. Okay, that's not too much older than me. 67's not that bad. But yeah, I fed this lady. She was in her 80s and she was depressed as hell. And I guess I would be too, honestly, in her situation. And I told her I was taking care of some people that had brain tumors that probably wasn't going to walk again, younger than her. You know, and obviously she can't feed herself. She had two broken arms and two broken legs. And, anyways, I did perk her spirits up. I just told her, I was like, you'll probably will walk again. But I told her, you're going to hate therapy. And she started laughing. She goes, probably. I was like, to get walking again is probably going to be an experience. But, but yeah, it often makes you reflect on life. And, you know, when you get around my age, you just think to yourself, these are my people. Very soon. So you try to take good care of yourself and stuff. But I reassured her that she would walk again, and she was happy that. And I said, "You'll get out of here." But yeah, the owner of this nursing home, he owned a bunch of hotels, and he put in the menu that if you don't like the meal or if you ordered the wrong meal or whatever, that he was not substituting because he doesn't. Since he sold it, they have to wait 5 years, and he wasn't paying for it. And it's crazy. So the family members came in droves because I was working in a unit that's $10,000 a month to stay in, and I know not lying to these guys. I'm not. I won't lie. I was taught not to lie because if you lie, you have to say one lie to cover up another lie. How old were you? In, what was it? How old was I in first grade? I guess how old everybody else was in first grade. I never skipped a grade. I was always. My parents were big on school, so the average age. And then my parents, when you came in the house, you had to get your homework done and they didn't give a damn. My dad was a military man, and you didn't cross my dad. I'll tell you that much. If my dad didn't like your friends, he'd show up in all of his craziness because he had lots of guns, lots of knives. He used to love bowie knives because he was in Vietnam and he didn't play, not at all. But I went home, did all my homework because I never knew what to expect and I was not about to make him angry. So, probably about 7. I went to Catholic school. We were not allowed to sit home and not do our homework and just get pushed to grade just because. These days, kids do get a lot away with a lot, but it's sad because, yeah, you guys do get away with a lot and they will push you a grade, but I guess the question is do you really get away with it? Because when you get older, it's a whole new ball game. All of a sudden, when you want to get these certain jobs, you can't get these certain jobs because you don't have the right training. That's generally the way that goes. So it's better to try to stay in school, and if you absolutely cannot stay in school, there's all that online schooling. Go to your online schooling and get some kind of trade. I did STNA when it was free, and And I ended up getting training in that, and I went to go to school for medical assisting and writing and different things like that. And my parents thought it was silly. But honestly, I like medical, but it's not where I want to be forever. And it's not for everybody because you got to watch your ass when you're a nurse. And I do say this with a heavy heart because some nurses get blamed for stuff they didn't do. They can You can, if a company is going through a lawsuit. Me, I'm a state tested nursing assistant. I work as now because I only work 3 days a week. I pile up my hours. I get good benefits, and it's decent enough. And honestly, a lot of the people from my work are my biggest fans. They're all in my Chong group. They say some of my stuff is out there, some of my idealisms, because most of my friends are Christians. But I like to think of how the world is. Oh, hello. How are you? Yeah, you can ask Queen. I always got my cards ready. I always tell people when I'm on a Facebook stream that I'll do their stuff, but they never ask. So, but yeah, I always have them here. But yeah, I guess I stay at my job because I feel people don't get enough hope in the world. And some of the new aides coming up are not very nice to these residents. He showed his monthly purple headed warrior deep within her, quivering vow of love pudding. That sounds very good. It almost sounds like a ballad. It's actually really good writing. I like it. I do. Well, all right. Well, okay. Is this appeal like a court thing, Queen? Is this like a financial court thing, Queen? Just but so I kind of know kind of where to start with what you're asking for, I guess. It sounds like court to me. I gotta do this bloody thing while I'm like, okay. Alright, well, let me get this going then. But yeah, everybody these days lose hope. And I want to say, if I ever do get a lot of money, I think I'm going to try to help the elderly and open up a nursing home and have dog kennels and train them to be therapy dogs for the nursing home. As I was trying to think of things that would be beneficial to society, because I feel like when you get in your 50s and 60s and 70s, people just stop caring about you. And it's really sad. I thought it was, because talking to this lady really made me feel sad of being in the field for. My oldest is 31. He was 2 when I became SNA for 29 years. I all I see. Oh, I'm getting hot on this, but all I ever see is just people that are really sad, and they tell me just these sad stories, and their family members never come in. Some of them do, some of them don't, and it's heartbreaking. People care more about dogs than grandma. I will say that. And the thing is, grandma was once part of your family lineage. And all they want to do is just kind of see their relatives and things like that, and they just want a happy life, and they know they're going to die because everyone has to die. If you're born, you're going to die. Hopefully it's in a good way, but you're going to die. And they're facing the reality of death and going on hospice and this and that, and people are mean. They don't want to give them good food. They don't want to do this and that. And the one thing is, you got to put people, you got to be in their shoes sometimes. And I put myself in the shoes of everybody that I talk to and try to give hope to. And that, one day I'm going to be 70 or 80. And I'm going to want to see my family members. And if I don't like what the menu is, I may want a grilled cheese. Because the reality of it is, you get up there in age, you are going to die. And they get disrespected by society a lot. And I don't like that. So maybe I'll start Chong the Dog nursing homes and have volunteers coming, and maybe have Chong the Dog help centers for other age groups. But maybe I just need to get a nursing home. Or maybe get a bunch of them. And be a good nursing home owner, not one of these ones that wants to make millions and profit from people, and that's it. Like this guy that owns my nursing home that's owns all these damn hotels that don't want to feed nobody or give them any quality of life. He just looks at them as a meal ticket. And people are not a meal ticket. I will tell you that much. Everybody has a soul. And if you believe in reincarnation or not, that's up to the individual. But in this lifetime, you got a soul. So, and you got to treat everybody with dignity. And I don't think everybody does. So, it's sad. I guess being an empath, I see this, and I did make her feel better, and I did foresee her walking again, but I did foresee 2 people that would never walk. And that made me sad, so I went to the kitchen and got them the food they wanted because they would never walk again. The one guy had a brain tumor. He looked young as hell. He probably was only 60. And his wife was coming in, and he was never going to walk again, and a brain tumor took everything out. And it makes you appreciate the time you have when you see people in this condition and you really talk to them, because it's life in this realm, and we gotta kind of go with the punches and try to stick together, and a couple kind words help these people more than anything. And they know when you're lying and when you're faking it. They're older, they're wiser, and then that's just it. But Queen, you got a full moon of Virgo. And a full moon of Virgo for your situation is just talks about how you got self-doubt, you're worried and stuff like that, which makes sense. And you got a blue moon, which is good. And this just talks about believing in things that you didn't think was going to happen. Or when all odds are against you, some good comes through. And you got a waxing moon with this situation also. And this talks about energy getting stronger towards the greater good. I feel that your court case may get appealed, but in the end, I think it's going to come out in a good way. But there's someone trying to hold it back. But I think that it's going to come out positive for you. I don't see anything negative. Maybe get yourself a quartz crystal and maybe just start doing the manifesting thing. Everybody's doing it these days. They love the manifesting thing. So, and then you can focus your energy. I do that a lot. I got me a chakra crystal that has all everything. Though this works good too. It takes all your bad energy, filters it out, and brings it for good. And it really does. So, kids, next move towards me in love. Alright. Carol or Candy. Oh, you're welcome. Alright, well, hang on here. Alright. Alright, Candy. Alright, I can get your energy path, but I can't tell you what the other person's move is going to be because of free will. Free will lets us do a bad or good or negative thing. You're allowed to choose the good or the bad. So I could tell you the energy in the path, but it's up to that individual if they're gonna what they're gonna do with it. And God does represent free will. I actually had somebody, they didn't believe me. They thought I was some religious fanatic, and I'm far from it. But I told them that the thing that separates good from evil is good will try, evil tries to say that this has to happen one way, and that's it. And you have to do this. Good, the light, or the good, however you want to phrase it, that states that you could choose one path or the other, but it would be better to choose the light. And it doesn't stop you from choosing the dark. So you got to remember that also, Candy. It's not. If it was that easy and obvious, we would all be happy, all of us, and there would be no problem in anybody's life. But yeah, they challenged me on that question and said that God was horrible and this and that on Facebook, and I was like, it's just the light. That's it. And the light always gives you two options. You can go against it or with it. You're better off to go with it, but some people choose to go without it. That's why there's abused people, abused animals. This is why all of that's put in place. Because some people choose bad. And unfortunately, a lot of people do bad things in this world. But Candy, your love reading is in a wax crescent moon. And this just talks about having faith and things that you want, which would be pertaining to your love life. And you got a dissembling moon surrounding this. And this just means that you need just to relax and just let time take its toll and choices being made. And you got a new moon in Virgo also, and this just means that you have to give rather than take from people. It means that you're in a circle where you're taking, but you're not giving equally. And this could stop you from finding the person that you want. It could stop you from finding your soulmate because the light can stop you from finding somebody that is your soulmate if you're in a selfish mode. And they test you. The light always tests you, and that's how they do it. So maybe just start giving more charity and things like that and see how things go. And maybe get yourself a rose quartz. A rose quartz, if you're in, keep good things in. And if this person doesn't choose you while you're doing good things, somebody even better will come along. So, and this has happened a lot of times in my life, and it can happen for you also. So you got to remember that too. All right, now should I ask the guy I like? I could do energy path, and you got to choose that, and that's LMN. I don't. So let's see here. I'll tell you the energy path in there, and then that's your choice to ask them or not. Because you have free will in this realm. We are not in the bowels of hell. So maybe there's people say that I've heard a lot of spiritualists, speaking of hell, saying that hell is literally you wouldn't know if you were in hell. It's just you're kind of replaying all of the bad things that you did over and over again until you make good where you did bad. They said that literally is just hell. So, like, if you did something to cause a lot of torment or you did something really bad against, I don't know, like murder or something, you're going to replay that over and over again. I'm trying to think it. My God, it's a famous quote too. I don't know, my brain's not with me. It's the levels of hell. But it's literally when you enter hell, they say it's a reflection of your own soul. And if you didn't learn your lesson in this lifetime, you go down. It's the 8 circles of hell. And they say that you replay that bad thing you've done over and over again to learn your lesson. And depending on the level of it, this is what happens. And we're not in that dimension. And if you're not in that dimension, it's always good to try to make good of your wrongs. If you always make good of your wrongs, admit when you're wrong, and you try not to be malicious, you don't go in the 8 circles of hell. If you go out of your way to be malicious, then you enter the 8 circles of hell. And then you get your tormentors and all kinds of stuff. But your love energy is in a full moon in Capricorn, and this is talking about the end of a tough cycle. So you were in a cycle that was pretty bad, and it's starting to end. And then you got a new moon, talking about a new start, and you got a full moon, talking about surrender to the divine, which means you got a lot of negative energy to let go. Honestly, if this guy is the one that you want to be with, I would hold back on it because you got a whole lot of negative stuff. And if this person is somebody that's not malicious, something will happen where you won't be with this person. So I would just go and I would just try to let go of all your negative energy and maybe hold off on that because you will be stopped until you literally make amends with everything from your tough cycle and center yourself. The rose quartz usually does a good job. And where is my sketch at? I'm trying to look at this. My computer is so annoying. I got ghost faced halfway there. Alright, hang on. Let me get my ghost face back. There we go. My ghost face is back. But I am going to do my ghost face now. This actually puts me in a good, happy mood. These kind of things. Now I got to do his mouth. Ghost face is coming out pretty good. I'm getting close to the pastel part. But before And now that I'm doing like a lot of these intricate kind of sketches, before the pastels, my friends, do the colored pencils and then do your pastel. And then we're going to finish this out with paint because the husband's always live streaming over there on Twitch and stuff. And all these ghost face are always, they're badass and they're always killing people and they pique my interest. And they're very cool. I do like them. And I do like Scream. It's like one of my favorite movies. But I guess I am a horror writer, so my son did tell me, we had this long talk and for like 3 hours on video chat, and he said that he's gonna make sure that this computer happens so I can get my book going here, because that is something I need to get done because it's on my bucket list before I die. I'm doing this. This sketch I could not do on Facebook because there's blood on this knife, and they're real funny about like violent stuff over there, and they're very godly. So these are things I can never do on Facebook. So I was doing my ghost face over here. And you can buy this sketch on Etsy for $10. But who wants to pay $10 when you can sketch it yourself? So got this coming out here. I don't know if you could see it. I was using my pastels first, but it was kind of ruining some of my sketches before the pastel because of that. So I'm just quickly sketching this out, all these little details here, because I feel it would be better. And then when I get the pastels involved, I got the red for the blood and stuff, and it would just be better that way. Alright, now I gotta put here where the blood is. Because, even though I don't dwell on negative, but it's here. You got, and a lot of times, I tell you, they always say the demons just are here, but they're just not just here. There's demons that we create. And we do. We create them through just putting people through horrific things. So, I guess we kind of create our own demons in this realm. And we don't kind of own up to it. And it's not just common people that create demons, it's people in general. People that just do horrible acts. Just like I was on YouTube over here. Somebody tied a dog to a tree upside down, duct taped his mouth and legs, and hung him. Rescuers got him, and he went through an operation. They got a lot of money on that video. We got, all you guys got to go and just start subscribing to these guys, all of them that do this wonderful things, because it's wonderful what they do. It really is. But yeah, that poor creature was, whoever decided they wanted to do that to this creature was malicious. Just point blank. They were just malicious. And the thing is that person probably thinks they're never going to have to pay or own up to anything, and they will. They will have to, because people will have to, you have to own up to everything you do. If you're mean to somebody for no reason, you got to say you're sorry and mean it to try to get redemption. Catholics are right about that. The road to redemption is a hard one, but it's the, I want to say it's the most positive one. It's hard as hell. I've been on the road to redemption a lot of times in my life. And I do mean a lot of times in my life I have been on the road to redemption. So I I understand. I get it, but I've never done stuff like half these people do. But I'm doing this because his hood here, I gotta get that in. Alright, the hood's there. And then his hood right in his jaw, we're gonna, comes out and comes here. Okay, all that's the hooded area. And this is gonna be a badass because who doesn't love that? But yeah, I mean, the road to redemption is hard. A lot of priests will tell you this, but it's the one thing that you want to do in your life. If you want a happy life, if you want love and stuff, eventually, you gotta own up to all your bad and goods because that's just what you have to do. I mean, if you, it's better to do it willingly. I will tell you that. You're one of these stubborn people that don't want to do it willingly. The light could be badass too. Don't don't think they're not. Don't think they're not. Oh boy, don't think they're not. You know, that's why they said the second war in heaven that Michael the Archangel's pretty badass. They take away everything you love and everything until you make redemption. That's what the light does. And honestly, they control that wrong. They can take away everything you love. You have a bad attitude about something, they can take it away. This is why angels could be powerful in that way. Because that's what they do. They control love and anything that's dark or light. They eventually want love. Everybody eventually wants love. And it's just a fact. It really honestly is just a fact here. I'm gonna do this because I just, this, it doesn't make sense because you don't see the arm. So we're just gonna make an arm there. All right, and there's blood there, and then this knife here is. I got here. This here is that. But yeah, I heard that a lot in Catholic school, and I hear that a lot with different faiths. I'd like to be bipartisan with things, and honestly, I think I've said this in a couple live streams. I like to, when it comes to different faiths, I like to know what the 411 is. I got kicked out of the Lucifer group because all I mentioned to them, that's all I mentioned was one little thing, that Lucifer was once an angel. If you ever join this Lucifer group, don't ever tell them that Lucifer was once an angel. I don't know why, but they get angry about that. But it's true. Things that were once dark can be light. And this is true because everybody wants love. You might say you don't want it, but you eventually you eventually seek it. And you do. Everybody seeks it eventually. And the light will give you love when you deserve it. or when they feel that you're ready for it. And that's it. That's how they operate. That's how God Himself operates. Anything of the light is like this. That's why you got to be very respectful, not malicious, and you'll get things like love and stuff. And they like you to be beneficial also. I will tell you that. They love when people are beneficial. If I see things of dark and I see things of light. But I'm that bipartisan person when I see these kind of things. I'm very respectful. And as long as you're respectful and you're not malicious, you won't have a problem with these guys. Ghostface reminds me a lot of the Reaper. Maybe this is why I like him so much. But even if you want to sit there and you like the Reaper, that's okay also. No one's saying you can't like the Reaper and stuff. They just want you not to be malicious. Don't hang dogs by trees. That dog was saved. Why? Because there's light. Alright, I got this so far with Ghostface. Now I gotta get in some of these details here. I must get all these details, like right in his face. Like in here it's dark, so I'm gonna shade this in here. I just thought it would be a really fun sketch to do. Who doesn't love Ghostface and Scream? But yeah, that's the one thing about these kind of things, friends. And I'm here to tell you. You could go to people and then we'll tell you, oh yeah, this is guaranteed, this person's going to do this and that. It's not true. It's whatever that person decides. And I tell you, you are judged. The light judges you. There's things around you all the time. And they judge everything you do. Your intentions on how you're doing it and everything. And they don't like people being messed with that are nice. They don't like it. They will protect nice people. And if you do something malicious against someone that's nice, that's like putting a nail in your coffin. Don't ever be nasty to the innocent, ever. Or anybody that's and under this category of innocent is animals, sick people, and things like that. Or anything that would pretty much stop the beneficial cycle that they create. Because that's what God is. That's why He's everywhere. He runs in good, happy cycles. So if you're running in bad cycles, He will catch up with you. And this is how the karma thing goes. Because God's always running in good circles all the time. So when you disturb one of His good cycles, He disturbs you and makes sure you don't get what you truly want. So just keep that in mind the next time you want to do something malicious. Because you'll get away with it, but you will pay in the end. Everybody pays in the end for everything. And they sure do. And Ghostface is turning out pretty damn good. Pretty happy with Ghostface. Alright, now it's the eye sockets that are dark. I'm trying to get all the black in here. This is why I never make God angry. I kind of just stay within my own lane. I don't bother people because it's just not worth making God angry. It's not. Because there's going to be a time where something's going to happen and you're going to need them. Let's say you get a brain tumor, you get a car accident, anything. And this is the times that maybe you do get that brain tumor and you don't get cured. So this is why I don't mess with God. God does what he does, I do what I do, and I'm not malicious over here. I just try to give people some kind of enlightenment so they don't get on the bad side of all this. And I mean, there's guidelines, but it goes in intentions. I mean, if you're a soldier and you're told to do something and you have no choice in the matter of circumstances, I don't, on those kind of things, I don't think you get held accountable because it's not malicious. The person that gets held accountable is the person that made you do that. So I guess that's where we're at with that. It all goes on accountability. That's how these cycles kind of go through. So I try to be accountable. I have accountability for creating good, happy cycles. That's why I do my happy sketching and do my thing. You don't have to be just one religion. God doesn't sit there and just choose this person over that person. He chooses positive people, and that's it, to do good things for. And love is his sector. So if you're in seek of love and you're doing malicious, selfish things, pretty much, I guess, expect to not find it. And if you do get it, you'll have a rude awakening. A very rude awakening. Because this is when God really gets nasty with you and gives you somebody that's truly horrible and makes sure you're unhappy and gets his revenge and ends that bad cycle. And he always puts forth, like if you was to cheat on somebody or whatever and you cause someone just a lot of emotional damage, that's when God says, okay, you caused this emotional damage, so you'll see that person doing well in areas that you wanted to be in. And one person will get rewarded and another person won't. This is how these cycles go. And I'm just here to tell you this 411. I decided to put a black background and then his little hooded area is gray. So it's going to be a black outline. And I decided to put gray here with all these details that I want to do. I think it would be very cool and happy that way. And then I'm going to go get my paints. Happy paints. Ghostface is looking really, really good. I don't know. I vibe with this. I really, really vibe with this well. Alright. I'm just gonna go and do that. I'm still gonna put the blood on this. So all of you Scream fans or Dead by Daylight fans would like this. And like I said, I'm not over religious. I'm not. I just see cycles. And when I see cycles appear, I don't like to be on the bad end of these cycles. Not at all. I mean, who the hell does? Bad cycles are called bad cycles for a reason. So, Alright. Now, I hope this is... Okay, that is not red. That is like the orange red. Okay, that is red. Alright. Alright, here's where the blood starts on here. Alright. Go there and on the tip. So I'm going to shade this in red because this is supposed to be blood. And then sometimes, if you do things malicious, sometimes they send the karma of if they're protecting somebody that's good, they'll send you a bad person just to kind of go in your path to protect someone else. They're really noted for that kind of thing too. So this happens too. This is why we don't mess with a god. I would never mess with a god. I'm not that crazy to mess with a god. But you don't win. Alright, we got this so far. I don't know, it's looking pretty badass. This definitely on Facebook would get me banned. And I will say that because this sketching definitely would make me get banned bad. So I'm so glad I did this sketching over here with you guys. Even though it's on a damn video game and everything else, somehow Facebook would have a problem with it. And I follow content rules for every single place I go. So, and when you think of these sketches with this, just think of it as regular. It's just fancy crayons, just pastels. That is what they are. They're fancy crayons for adults that like to play around with sketches. And that's just... I like to go up and down because with these fancy crayons, that I like to call them, if you're doing an upward movement, it's gonna get the eye of whoever's looking at your piece of art to look up. So you kind of want it to go the contour of your picture. So put this in here. But Ghostface is one of my favorites. He does look very cool. He does. I like to get all this in here because when I do these really detailed sketches like this, I lightly paint around. You don't want to ruin what you spent all this time creating. That you don't. I don't know. I think my husband would even like this. Because sometimes he plays Ghostface. There's times he does. Alright. He's kind of going this way. So this here, you want to kind of start angling the chalk that way. Because he's at an angle with his knife. So we're just pulling just like that, moving this. I mean, I would pay $10 for this at Etsy if I was a sketch artist. Because it looks pretty decent. It wasn't even that hard of a draw. I mean, once you start sketching and practicing, things like Ghostface and all that is not hard. It really isn't. Now, what's hard is people and dogs and log cabins. That's hard. It's ridiculously hard. The little simple things that you would think be easy are just not at all. Not at all. And this other sketch from Etsy, there was not. They didn't outline it in black with the gray. I decided I thought it would be a nice little with the gray with his gray suit. It would be kind of nice to have the black details. All right, now this knife is gray also in this sketch, so I'm gonna do that. And I wanted to do the black just so you can see all these different details because I feel it gives it consistency. I want it to have consistency. And think about sketching as what you do on one side, you do to the other. And since I already got white poster board, I'm not really going to worry about using my white pastel because if I was like making art or something, I would, but not with that. But here we go. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's pretty good. I really do. I'm vibing. It's very happy. Alright, now I have my black paint. Alright, I'm going to have some more coffee and finish this out. And I don't know. I think this one my husband might want to keep since he loves Dead by Daylight so much. He always plays Survivor a lot, but this is probably one of the killers that riddle his life. Alright. Now, you gotta pick what brush works best with what you're doing. I put all my stuff in cups. And as you can see, I have tons of things everywhere. So, I'm going to use this one. It's kind of medium. It's not, you don't have to know the exact coordinates of all of it. Just something you think you can get fine details with your sketch. If you want it real skinny, you can do it real skinny. And if you want it real light, you can do it real light. It's just easy as that. Whatever you feel comfortable with. You can't over exhaust yourself in this kind of stuff because at the end of the day, you're doing this because you like to do it. And if you're doing something you don't like to do, you're not going to do well at it. That's pretty much where things are at. But I like to do the edges with paint because I feel it gives it a lot of consistency. It makes things nice. I just want to detail it. I mean, I know there's a lot of sketch artists that stop at this point, but not me. Not me at all. I feel this way. You're doing 3 different things to your thing. You did it with pencil, the colored pencil, and then you went ahead and went from colored pencil and did your pastel, and then you're finishing it off with paint, which makes it look nice and polished and pretty. And it makes it look finished and it pops out better. It really, really does. Okay. You just have to try to get a steady hand because you're following your own lines. Following your own lines is sometimes a difficult practice, and you'll know which ones. Just like the knife, I'm not going to do it with the knife. No. Because it has too many good details. But like background sketches, like the cape or robe that he wears, that looks badass, that I do like. I'm going to bring it in and show all those details in this cape. Because you have all this here showing that he's going sideways, and the way you used your pastel to color it in, people are automatically gonna just say, oh, it's sideways. And then that's it. And then some things, like the knife, I'm gonna let it be. But the details in this cape, I feel, would be really, really nice like this. And just to kind of show the contours of where this is beginning and ending. And the inside of his face where it's black, but not his eyes. I'm not touching that because you don't want to mess it up, because once the paint hits, it's really hard to fix it after that. It just messes up your whole sketch. Then you don't have happy sketchwork, and then Ghostface is messed up. So I'm going around these edges like this. And I'm just touching it up with detail. That's it. That's it. Just touching it up with detail. Out that way. Over this way. And you go down that way. Just want to just enough details where it kind of makes it look nice and shiny and pretty. I like paint. I like the appearance of paint and things. I really do. It doesn't have to be a lot of paint, but I like having paint. And I feel with sketch art, it's so important to have this paint. But I mean, that's just me. Another artist might feel a different way. I mean, but that's the good part about it. So if you just wanted to end it there, you can end it there also. You really could. It's all up to the person that's doing this, because you're putting your name on it, or you're putting yourself out there that I did this. So if you went through the trouble of doing something, make it look good. Make it yours. Make it look good. And I notice when you look at all these different things on that they sell, they don't go through all these nice things. Oh, babe. Is it good?
Not bad.
It's my first ghost face.
I know it's not bad for your first one.
Figure why not? Alright, there we go. This way. Alright, folks, I think I'm just about done with this. I'm not going to bother with his face and the inner details. I feel it might ruin Ghostface if I go any further with this. But this is what I got. And if you missed any part, because you don't want to, and it's not bad for a first attempt. But if you're a newcomer, I usually, when the stream is done and YouTube's done by tomorrow reviewing it, I always release it, and it goes from the bigger numbers to the smaller numbers. So, and through the whole stream, I show how I started and ended a sketch. So, just to let you know, if you liked Ghostface, maybe because I can show you exactly how I did it, because I'm not Bob Ross. I'm not. I just practice sketching. I'm an average sketcher. That's it. So I just show people good ideas while I'm doing tarot card readings. And that's about the whole bit of it. And thank you for listening to the stream. And I hope everybody is doing well and having a good life and doing good things. And I will see you guys at probably tomorrow. And have a great day.